Welcome to level 12. S, like sculpting. Set S is the sculpting set. So if you're in here, you'll like to sculpt. P likes painting. D like drawing. Out of 30 people, there are 13 that like sculpting, 16 like painting, and 14 like drawing. 21 people like sculpting or like drawing. 21 people like painting or like drawing. 9 people like sculpting and like painting. 5 people like sculpting and like painting and like drawing. 9 people like painting and like drawing. Fill in the yellow text boxes with the number of people that belong to each region of the Venn diagram, and then you want to find the probability of S and D and P prime. That is the probability that a person will like sculpting and like drawing, but not like painting. These are little yellow text boxes that we're going to fill in, and then we're going to put the probability, the answer to this probability question here. I'm going to fill in everything I know. So out of 30 people, so the universal set has 30 people in it. So I'm going to put a little 30 beside the U here. 13 like sculpting, so I'm going to put a 13 beside the S for sculpting, and 16 like painting, I'm going to put a little 16 beside the P. 14 like drawing, so I'm going to put a 14 beside the D. 21 people like sculpting or like drawing. Sculpting, drawing, I'm going to put a little 21 right here because sculpting or drawing is all of that. So I'm going to put a little 21 just to say that we're talking about that region. 21 people like painting or like drawing. I'm going to put a 21 down here to indicate these two regions combined. 9 people like sculpting and painting. Sculpting and painting. So that means this region right here, sculpting and painting. I'm going to put a little 9 right here on the border. Okay, so showing that we're talking about these two regions. 5 people like sculpting and like painting and like drawing. So that's this region right here in the center. So I'm going to put a 5 inside that text box. 9 people like painting and like drawing. So painting and drawing. So that's this region here. And I know that altogether that's 9. And I already have 5. So to get to 9, this has to be a 4. I'm going to put a 4 right there. Those are all the hints that we have. We know that there's a 9 in this region. We have a 5 here. This has to be a 4 to add up to 9 as well. We have 16 that like painting. And so far, I have 9 plus 4 is 13. So this has to be a 3 to get us up to 16. Now I have 16. I know that I have 21 that like sculpting or like drawing. I have 13 in the sculpting. 13 plus, and then we're going to look at the rest of this circle. So 4 down here. So 13 plus 4 is 17. I have to get to 21. That's 4 more. 17 plus 4 makes 21. So I know that I have 21 in these two circles. I have 14 people that like drawing, and so far I have 8 plus 5 is 13. This has to be a 1. Looking in the sculpting circle, 1 plus 4 is 5 plus 5 is 10. I know I have 13 in this circle altogether, so this has to be a 3. In sculpting or drawing, these two circles taken all together, I have 21. This little region down here is 3 more, so 21 plus 3 is 24. So 24 in the 3 circles altogether. If I have 24, this has to be a 6 to get us up to 30 for the universal set. So that's going to be a 6. We're done that part, but we're not done this part. We have to find the probability of S and D and not P. S and D and not P. S and D, we're talking about this region, but not P, so we're just talking about this region right here. Really just looking at that 1. What's the probability that somebody is here? That's just 1 out of 30. So 1 out of 30, and then we press enter. Let's try one more. T is plays tennis, S is plays squash, B is plays badminton. Out of 40 people, there are 16 that play tennis, 20 play squash, 18 play badminton, 26 people play tennis or badminton, 7 people play tennis and play squash, 8 people play tennis and play badminton, 4 people play squash and play badminton, 1 person, I should say. 1 person plays tennis and squash and badminton. Fill in the yellow text boxes with the number of people that belong to each region of the Venn diagram. Then find the probability of B and T prime and S prime. That's the probability that person will play badminton and not play tennis and not play squash. 40 people in our universal set. I'll put a little 40 there. 16 play tennis. I'm going to put a 16 beside the T. 20 play squash. I'm going to put a little 20 here. 18 play badminton. Put an 18 there. 26 play tennis or badminton. So tennis or badminton is all of this region here. I'm just going to put a little 26 right there. 26 people play tennis or badminton. 7 people play tennis and play squash. Tennis and squash is this region here. I'm just going to put a 7 on the border of this area and this area. That's my 7. 8 people play tennis and play badminton. Tennis and badminton are these two little regions here. I'm going to put 8 right there on the border. 4 people play squash and play badminton. Squash and badminton. I'm going to put a little 4 right there on that border. Then 1 person plays tennis and squash and badminton. That means the central region. It's in all 3 circles. I'm going to put a 1 here. If this is 7 altogether, this would have to be 6. So 6 plus 1 makes the 7. For this region with the 8, I have 1 plus, that has to be a 7 to get to 8, and 1 plus 3 makes 4. I know I have 18 in badminton, so 3 plus 1 is 4 plus 7 is 11. 11 plus 7 makes 18. Here I have 20. 6 plus 1 plus 3 is 10, plus 10 makes 20. Up here I have 16. 6 plus 7 is 13. 14 plus 2 more makes 16. I want to figure out how much I have in the 3 circles altogether. Well, I have 26 in tennis or badminton. 26 plus 10 is 36. So 36 in these 3 circles altogether. To get to 40, I would need 4 more. These are the regions. We filled them all in. We're looking at the probability of B and T prime and S prime. B is this region right here. What does that have in common with not T? So I'm just going to remove the parts that are in T, and not S, remove the parts that are in S. It is 7 out of the total 40. 7 out of 40 and enter. Yay. All right. And that is it for level number 12. Have a good day.